Welcome to Getting Personal with Plant Medicine. I'm your host, Diana, and my co-host today is Christopher Deaney of Christopher's Organic Botanicals. You might also know him from Christopher's Corner if you're a regular listener. And we also have Matthew Stewart of Spirit Apotheosis in Ohio. How are you doing today, everybody?
Fantastic snowy day here in Ohio.
Snowy. It snows already. Yeah, everybody here is freaking out about. Freaking out.
Yeah, we're gonna get slammed. This can be like we haven't seen something like this since like the blizzard of '96 out here. It's gonna be bad.
Oh no, I remember that.
Excited.
Yep.
I'm from Maine, so I always think people are freaking out prematurely, but I guess maybe I should start taking it seriously.
You'll get hit too down in Maryland. Probably they're talking 12 to 18 inches plus ice, so that's never good.
No, well, we're gonna be lots of snow days next week. I can predict. Anyway, all right. So we're going to talk about what's going on in Ohio in the kratom industry in a minute. But before we do that, Matthew, do you have a personal connection to kratom? And if so, like what's your journey with it?
And I do, both personally and as a business that has it available for clients. I use it personally for chronic pain, and it does do kind of mood stabilization. Not that I need it, but I mean, who doesn't want to feel a little better about things? But for me, mostly it's for the chronic pain. I don't take any pharmaceuticals for it. Ohio was really bad for the sweeping opioid epidemic. This was like ground zero, Ohio. And luckily started selling kratom at my shop back in 2009, before really anybody heard about it. And quietly we sold it to a certain clientele, and sold it responsibly, just the raw herb. That always had opportunity to sell extracts, and I felt that was kind of pushing it. Mother Nature didn't make it like that, so I wasn't a huge advocate for that. But the raw powder and leaf to make tea, that's something that I've sold responsibly and imported responsibly since 2009. When the opioid really took off, 2015, 2016, people were going towards this because now the doctors were pulling people off of these addictive medications that they, I don't want to say were forced to take, but I mean, we're given no other alternative to taking it. And it got pretty bad. And then it went before the President Obama at the time, and there was a march at the White House where American Kratom Association kind of spearheaded it, and it kind of shut down the FDA's thought about it until here in Ohio, was it 2018? We tried to march on the State House at that time because of the Board of Pharmacy, and they heard all of our thoughts and stuff. They made their determination before lunch that they were going to leave kratom alone. I can keep talking on and on. But,
okay, well, I guess I should probably say that what we're going to talk about today is how the Ohio Board of Pharmacy is moving forward with their plans to ban all natural kratom products. So, and this was after a temporary ban that was banning outright all kratom products, right?
Yep.
So how did we get to what you're saying? I mean, obviously it sounds like it's building up. I can see where it's going, but how did this temporary ban happen, and then how did it escalate so quickly?
In my opinion, they always wanted to ban all kratom. They were just using the emergency scheduling for 7OH to get in the door. And they said when they emergency scheduled 7OH that they are going to still look at kratom, but people didn't think it was going to be the following week or 2 weeks later. So they used their emergency power to schedule 7OH to do that. And now they're keep going. The Board of Pharmacy has been in Ohio, has been trying to ban kratom for years. It's not new.
Yep.
This is their next opportunity to go do it. That's all. That's the way I feel. I mean, Matthew's in Ohio, so he knows a little bit, probably more local annoyances than I do, but
yeah,
that's the way I feel.
When they banned the emergency ban on the 7-OH, they said they were not touching natural kratom products. So, I continually have them available for people because there was no ban on that at that time. Now, if they're going to do total ban on this, I mean, my opinion, this is horrible government overreach on things that have nothing to do with anything. I mean, 7-OH,
Nope.
That's bad. 100% agreed. I never touched it, never would have. But so was spice back in the day with the synthetic cannabinoids. I mean, all of this synthetic garbage is bad.
Yeah.
But
on a local level, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I'm just thinking I'm pretty familiar with Ohio. I've some family there, but I can imagine that the 7-OH, I don't want to call it an epidemic, but I don't really know what else to call it because it's pretty severe. And I just wonder what did that look like on a local level? Were people coming in and asking for it? Like, did you see how it, impacted the community?
It did. I saw a lady came into my shop not long ago saying that she was hooked on it. And doesn't know how to step down from it. And it's, I mean, we were never asked about it. If we were, I'm thinking, they would have been shut down immediately because, that's just not something that I offer. It's not safe. Let's be realistic. How many pure natural kratom overdoses have been put out on the table? How many people have died with just kratom in their body? I bet you they're going to have a hard time finding any, but they're going to put all of that together from the 7-OH and whatever other garbage they put with it, cough medicine or whatever the kids were doing, and then they're not going to discern between any of it. It's too much work.
Yep.
And it makes for a good campaign issue.
It sure
to run
does.
on. So what does that mean for businesses like you? Like, how have you been dealing with the ban?
I continually sold it because there wasn't a ban on the synthetic. I checked the state code, but like all of the gas station heroin should be legally off the street, but legally what is are a couple different things. But yeah, nobody's.
So the temporary ban was just on synthetics, right?
Right.
Okay. So, but then the ban that they are trying to, or that they're going forward with now, is on all products.
Hooray for Ohio.
Is there a time limit? I mean, like, how immediate is it supposed to be?
Well, I know we have public comment up until January 28th. We got 5 more days for public comment. And then that, as long as they hear public comment and there's enough people commenting, they're going to have to look at it and say, okay, there's a difference here. We all know there's a difference. And we started getting phone calls the end of 22 about 7-OH. Some guy was telling me he was up in New York and he was like, some guy was making this for me and he took off and it was called 7-OH and it was there. And that was the first time I heard about it. It didn't become popular in the market for a year later, but I heard early talk about it and people were doing this underground or whatever you'd like to call it. And I've even brought that up at hearings where Matthew brought up, there's been no single death of just pure natural kratom leaf. Well, that's most likely 100% true. And a lot of people forget there's a lot of other research chemicals out there that the coroner doesn't test for that are for sale online every day. And also, it's not new. This started in 2009 with kratom, adding tramadol to kratom. And then they said the kratom killed 9 people. It was really the tramadol. So they've been adding stuff to kratom products for, 16, 17 years. And I always say, if kratom got you high, they wouldn't have to add anything to it. So why are they adding stuff to it? Kratom doesn't get you high. So that should be the selling point right there.
And I know that they're always changing it too, or at least in the
Yeah.
early days, they would change the formulation a lot, right? Like,
Yep.
uh, I know because I worked for a kava bar that sold it, and he was constantly law enforcement was always lurking because they were always trying to catch him making a wrong combination, right? Because they were
Gotcha. Yeah.
I'm saying that because I know that that's a really simplified way of saying like the
Yep.
composition of the chemicals and everything like that, but you
Correct. Hmm.
so because I know I'm thinking of the hemp ban, they gave a year, now it might be 3 years. So is there any hope of that happening with this, or does it seem like it's going to be more immediate if we don't get more public comment, some kind of intervention?
I mean, my thoughts are they're not playing around. They came out with this very quickly. They've been trying to ban it for years, and we need all hands on deck to make comments, calls, whatever you got to do to tell them your story. Be like, I'm benefited from natural kratom. They keep bringing up 7-OH. It's beyond 7-OH. It's been beyond 7-OH. We have tianeptine and phenibut in the market for years. Nobody talks about that anymore, but that was added to kratom products. But now you got the MGM's been on the market for 6 months plus. You have always had the pseudoindoxils, but all these other things they're adding to it. It's not just one thing, or it's synthetic. Anything you got natural and synthetic. So
Mhm.
that's where they have to draw the line if they want to draw the line.
Okay. Did you want to add anything to
I
that, Matthew?
agree. Oh yeah, it's synthetic anything. I mean, look at pharmaceutical. I mean, I'll use aspirin for example. Aspirin was synthesized from white willow bark back in the day, and that was silic acid. Then they made it acetylsilic acid, and now people have serious problems with their ripping holes in their stomach with just because they take the good part out and then forget about all the other stuff that makes the good part great, and
Yep.
then just take the one piece out.
Yep. Just like the whole leaf. The whole leaf works on multiple systems of our body at the same time with 40 plus alkaloids. The extracts or the isolates or the synthetics, they don't do that. They're targeting one area. They're not working on a whole body. So
I can say on a personal level, I took the acetaminophen for many years for chronic pain, and it did more damage long term to me than whole leaf kratom ever did. And I mean, before I stopped taking all of those pharmaceuticals, I had like Swiss cheese looking, insides basically. And then I had so many ulcers. And then after I switched to all plant medicine as much as possible, it went down to one, not even a whole one. Just in comparison, and the doctor didn't want to acknowledge that like kratom and CBD and cannabis made a really big impact on that. Like he wouldn't even have the conversation because he said like he said something like I don't want to talk about what gets you high. I'm going to talk about things that actually heal you. And it was like, really? Let's just look at the reports side by side, from last time I was here. No.
And that's why we gotta, the way the medicine is nowadays, we got to go back 100 years ago plus before big pharma and really go back to the way we used to use plants and herbs to heal ourselves and stop going for pills first. That's why I always say plants before pills. Modern medicine has its place. If it wasn't for modern medicine, I wouldn't be here.
Unless the plants are inside the pills. I just want to interject because sometimes
there you go. There you go.
Anyway, I'm sorry, Matthew. What were you saying?
Well, I hail from Cleveland here in Ohio. And Cleveland, people forget, was the home of John D. Rockefeller, the richest man that ever set foot on the American soil. So with him being from Cleveland, he had a lot of influence on how medicine was made in this country. He was one of the founders of the Cleveland Clinic. So if he could make it out of a patented type of medicine and where people actually made money off of the petroleum they pulled from the soil and made these patent drugs from it, and that's what started this whole shebang and taught in the colleges and this is what they've learned, the allopathic medicine in this country since 1900.
And the doctors aren't even taught. They're not taught of anything about health, nutrition, herbs, plants. They're just taught here. There's a pill for this. That's it.
That's right.
You
Because
know, and it
somebody's making
sucks.
the pill.
Well, yep.
So, how can people get involved at this point? I know that support can come from outside of Ohio. I have emailed the board of pharma. Was it board of pharmacy? Yes, the
Right.
Ohio Board of Pharmacy. So, how can people who aren't in Ohio support what's going on? And then also on a local level, is there anything that you wanted to highlight, like any kind of protest or anything like that that you have coming up?
I don't know of any protests, honestly, not like 2018, but like we're in the comment period now, and everybody is highly suggested that they make their comment to the board. Otherwise, this is not gonna it's not gonna continue. So many people rely on it to responsibly take care of their own pain management, where it's not stepping down off of these dangerous narcotic drugs.
Yeah. I
Um,
couldn't agree more.
yeah,
So for public comment, people can email and they can also call, correct? Are they doing a public hearing?
not that I'm aware scheduled yet. I know
Okay.
the American Kratom Association is next on their website.
I'm surprised mine doesn't drop.
All right. So again, let's just go back to where we can say, how can people get involved? They can email and what else? Just to make sure we nail the point home.
You can always call your local Congress people, whatever ward you're in. You could say that you are highly unfavorable of them banning all kratom products and why. Um, I mean, be annoying. That's how we. That's how we win. Is by choice word you can use there, because I got a lot of them.
Yep.
I'm very
Yep.
opinionated.
Yeah, I have to bite my tongue too. I understand.
The thing that scares me most about this threat seems to be the one that might actually stick. And this is the one that seems to be everybody's the most quiet with. And that kind of worries me. I don't
Yeah,
know if that's by design. It might be.
I'm sure it is. I mean, with everything going on right now, it's so difficult for people to focus on any one issue for an extended period of time. Um, like with the hemp ban that just happened, and they snuck that into the spending bill. So people were focused on, life or death matters, and they weren't listening or they're not even hearing about it because hardly anybody was talking about it except for all the businesses that were going to be impacted by it and all the people who were going to lose access to their medicine. And now, after it happened, everybody was talking about it because a lot of people didn't even understand how in depth it was and how much it actually bans. So to that point, like what does this ban, you're saying like outright kratom ban, so they can't even order anything to be shipped to Ohio? Like if you wanted to order something online, it wouldn't be able to be shipped from anywhere to Ohio, correct?
Right. You'd have
Correct.
to get it like most of us Ohio cannabis users do and go to Michigan. Even though, Ohio has a cannabis program in place, it is far, far inferior to our companion there in Michigan.
Mm.
Yeah, the market's a little more mature in Michigan than Ohio. Definitely.
Right. I mean, it's just the way that they look at and establish the laws concerning cannabis. I mean, it's a free market here in Ohio. It is stranglehold by the state. It's not a free market.
Does the Board of Pharmacy have a lot to do with that one as well?
Oh, I would imagine so. I would
Mm.
imagine so.
So what does that mean to you on a personal level with your business? I mean, do you have a lot of people come in and tell you how much kratom changed their lives? I mean, what do you think that local impact will be?
Sure. I have a lot of clients that have been using kratom safely for years so that they don't need the pharmaceutical drugs. And yeah, they're worried about it and they're buying like bigger quantities from me just to kind of hold it over in case it does happen. There really is not many alternatives to kratom outside of pharmaceutical medication, which is, for me, being in Ohio, I'm kind of scared that the opioid epidemic that happened last decade is going to rear its evil head again, and worse because there's no natural, safe alternative for them to wean themselves off of.
Yeah, because it hit Ohio really hard.
Oh yeah, us in West Virginia.
Yep.
Remember
That's really
pictures
scary.
of the mother and father had just done whatever they did driving the car, and they nod off in the front seat, and then there's the kid in the back seat. I guess somebody took a picture of that before they were arrested. But this was a picture that was all over the place in 2016 at the White House.
I remember that photo. I remember
Yeah.
that. Yep.
I mean, that's scary. That happened right here in Ohio.
Yeah, it's
Yeah. I mean,
and that's what it's all about. It's about harm reduction. That's the best part about the kratom leaf. You know what I mean? It's harm reduction on so many different levels.
It is.
it just becomes obvious that this Board of Pharmacy wants that to happen again, because why else wouldn't you look at the research that we do have, what we do have available? Even anecdotally, it's pretty hard to ignore unless you're just focusing on the money.
I really think if the FDA comes out and changes their website and makes that final statement again, like they did about the 708, like we're not targeting the kratom leaf, we're not targeting this. Like they had an FDA direct podcast where Dr. McCary spoke about it a little bit. And he's like, we're not targeting kratom. We're not talking about that. Like it's been said so many times. Why aren't the states listening to that?
It's too inconvenient trying to separate the two.
I agree. I agree. They were saying that in a couple other states, including Louisiana. There's no difference between the two. And at other times they've told me when I was on the phone with different people, they're like, you know what, we're a small town. We don't have the resources or time to differentiate between the good and the bad. So
Yeah,
that's what's
Louisiana
happened. That's what's happened.
to make it illegal for years, the raw leaf.
Yep.
I remember they actually made it illegal, and then they made it legal again, and now it's in that gray area again. It might even be illegal again. I haven't been keeping up with Louisiana, but
Oh, it's banned.
Oh, it is banned. Yeah.
It's
oh,
banned.
good golly, yeah. I kind of weird. I'm noticing a pattern where all of these are being banned. I mean, we all see the pattern without getting political here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
100%.
Well, all right. So is there any hope about this at all, or is it just seems like it's pretty much?
I mean, there's always hope.
Yeah. I hope there's hope.
I hope there's hope. Well,
There's always hope.
Get people active and commenting. Let the pharmacy board know that there is a difference, and we need to have safe, reliable access to the kratom leaf. Like the American Kratom Association was proposed to the pharmacy board for the Kratom Purity Act. I think a couple states adopted it or we're talking about it or something to that effect, where it's like me being a vendor of it, I have to prove where it came from, that it's free of all these heavy metals and alterations and things like that, which I can because I've been using the same importer for over a decade.
That's awesome.
Yep.
I mean, it's awesome for you right now, for the people who can still get access to it. So where can people find you and how can they support you?
Me and my shop, Spirit Apotheosis, Botanicals and Findings, is right downtown Bedford, right in the heart of this cute little community down here. I sell more than kratom. I have over 700 herbs and teas. We're the largest apothecary in the Midwest. I don't want to say the country because I don't know. But we definitely are in the Midwest. We have books, a huge library, and we sell crystals and gems. We have the new agey kind of flair to it. But yeah, and this will be our 20th year here in Bedford.
That's
Oh, wow.
awesome.
That's cool.
If I ever make it back over there, I'll come and visit. But even
Right.
checking out the website, it looks like you definitely have a lot to offer. Well, thank you so much for spending time with us today and giving us some insight. Is there anything you wanted to add, Chris?
I just want to say, we need that momentum from 2016. I know Matthews was there or familiar with 2016 in DC. We had everybody involved. Like
Everybody.
it was just everyone. And like, there's nobody there anymore. We need that type of momentum back. We need people to speak. If they're scared to speak, there's people to help you to learn how to speak, whatever it is, nerves, story, we got Chat GPT. You could type in some goofy stuff and it'll give you this professional speech right there. You don't even got to do that much work anymore. There's people that'll help you. Like, just tell your story, send an email, please.
It's very important, guys. Running out of time.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
And if it ain't Ohio, it's gonna be your state next.
I have to move if that happens. Seriously.
Yep.
Like that's why I didn't move to Vermont, because they banned it. I was actually looking into it, and then I found that I was like, nope.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
I had a lot of my customers when they banned August 1st, they banned it in Louisiana. They made arrangements a month later. They had moved out of state.
Wow.
Because they deal with chronic pain. They deal with issues.
Yeah.
They said, I'm not living like this the rest of my life. And they left.
Yeah. Exactly.
One of them moved to Montana or something.
Oh, I don't know about Montana.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little cold. A little cold for me.
All right. Well, thank you so much. And I'd love to see you come back on sometime and talk about some of your other herbs.
Oh, fantastic.
Definitely.
And
we all love all plant medicine.
Yep, that's right.
Oh, and
that's a good spot to end.